It's Friday, September 13th. I'm Cameron Bailey, Artistic Director of the Toronto International Film Festival. Here's a film that will melt your heart. It's called Bright Days Ahead. It's from France, and it stars the great French actress Fanny Ardant. You may remember her from films of the 1970s and 80s, often with François Truffaut. And this is a story where, of course, she's older now, and she's playing an older woman who's just on the verge of retirement. She decides to join up with a retirees club, and there's a computer instructor there who is decades her junior. Turns out they have a little frisson, a little attraction to each other, and they spark up a very hot romance. It is scandalous, of course, but because this is a French film, the film pursues it with great gusto. There is no judgment, no morality that's brought to bear here, not even from the other people her age. This really is just a wonderful romance by a woman who is in her 60s and discovering something new in herself for the first time. This is Bright Days Ahead from France. Here are two films that will thrill you. The first is called Cold Eyes, and it's a stylish, fast-paced South Korean thriller. It's based on a Hong Kong film called Eye in the Sky, and it's a drama that plays out between a crack team of surveillance police officers in contemporary Seoul, South Korea, and a crack team of bank robbers who will do anything using the latest technology to get the biggest scores they can. This is just a classic crime movie with great visual effects, great performances all around, including by the head of the bank robbing team, played by a Korean actor named Jang Woo-sung, who was in a film called The Good, the Bad, and the Weird that we played as a gala at the festival in 2009. He's terrific here playing the baddie, and he is just deliciously evil, very menacing, and I think a great foe for the cops. It's super stylish, it's lots of fun. The film is called Cold Eyes from Korea. Burning Bush is the new film by Polish director Agnieszka Holland, but it's actually three films. It was made for HBO Europe, and it's a three-part miniseries set in the aftermath of Prague Spring in Czechoslovakia in 1969. The film begins with a man setting himself on fire as an act of protest against the Soviet occupation of Czechoslovakia, and it goes on to fan out from there to explore what that act meant for different levels of society. There's a legal case that springs from it. We see what happens to the man's family. We see what happens to the people who were fellow protesters and activists working against the communist regime at the time. Fascinating procedural in many ways, showing you the different levels of society in Czechoslovakia at the time, done with perfect period detail and very cinematic. Although it was made originally for television, this feels like a movie. It's called Burning Bush by Agnieszka Holland.